Greetings and salutations, Audley Stevenson here, and I wanted to take an opportunity to congratulate the Good Rookies podcast team on their 50th episode. Shout out to Nelly, Faheem, and Jomo, who works tirelessly behind the scenes. Thank you guys for all that you do for the culture. As a past guest, I am also a current fan. I love your work. Keep it up, keep it moving, and congrats once again.
Oh my gosh, y'all. So as you know, this is our 50th anniversary, and we got our homegirl Chantelle Morris in the building. Chantelle!
Yes, Chantelle.
Hey, y'all.
That's right.
Glad to be back.
Yes, girl. Yes, girl. But you know what?
Back.
We are so excited because we have some hot topics for you specifically because you are an expert in many things. But as you saw, the NFL, okay, they are now trying to divide the locker room here, my girl. You saw the memo that came out that essentially what they said, and not in Latin terms, they said pretty much if an outbreak happens on a team, they're going to blame the unvaccinated players. And not only that, they're going to have steeper penalties for those that are vaccinated, that are unvaccinated. Chantelle, why is the NFL doing this? And your thoughts on how, how this can happen or how this can affect player, I guess player relationships in the locker room.
It's actually a very dangerous game that they're playing, to be honest, because bringing that type of divide can break down a team's morale, the way they operate on the field, because they're not getting along well in the locker room. And I think that the NFL is, in its own way, trying to apply the pressure for them to get vaccinated, because that they think that will be the solution. I think they're afraid that there's going to be a lot of people probably getting sick because of, there's a new Colombian variant that's out, the Peruvian variant that's out, Delta that's out. Like, we're starting to see more variants pop up, and we're starting to see a rise in numbers. Florida today, I think, had like 16,000 cases. So I think it's causing a lot of fear and pressure from above for them to be a lot more stringent. But it's dangerous because vaccinated players can still also get COVID and pass it along to unvaccinated players. So I don't see how this is going to play out or how this is going to work. Even the camp schedule is crazy with them not touching this player for this many days and whatever. Like, all of it just sounds a bit much to me. I think they should just have standardized protocol for all players.
Awesome. I agree with you 100%. Faheem, your thoughts on this unvaxxed players are reason why people are getting COVID. It's like an outbreak.
I think a lot of this has to do, I think things like this hurt the credibility of what they're trying to do. I'm not sure what the agenda is, but when you have the NFL blatantly separating players, it makes me think of at Pearson, where they did the experiment. People came off the plane and they said, okay, we'll have, I guess, a checkout for unvaccinated and a checkout for vaccinated. And then, I don't know, 48 hours later, they said, okay, they scrapped the idea. That's not working. And they're no longer going to proceed with that. I just think if you're going to make a mandate, you should have something behind it and stick to it. I understand situations have to be fluid, but there's the narrative that because someone's not vaccinated, that they're more highly contagious. I don't get it. I'm really confused, and I understand what you're saying, Chantelle, in regards to players and division and locker room. And imagine if a team does have some form of outbreak. It's like you had Gobert and Donovan Mitchell. Guys on the same team caught COVID. And it turns into the blame game. I don't know what the NFL is doing. I know they actually want an out in case this season does not go as expected in regards to lower cases. At least they could say, hey, you know what? They have someone they can blame. It's a blame game.
Listen, Faheem, you're right. And as we saw, there was a vaccinated coach that got vaccine. he was positive. And then on the flip side, assistant coach for the Vikings was let go because he didn't want to get vaccinated. NFL, what are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? So let's just pray for these NFL players. Hopefully the NFL does get it right. And if not, NFL, Faheem and Chantelle give y'all some good pointers, y'all. And I'm gonna work for y'all. So I hope y'all figure it out. For sure, for sure. Now the next topic we got, Faheem, can you kind of land your plane here on our next topic for Chantelle?
So the Tokyo Olympics, Simone Biles, the GOAT of gymnastics.
Yes.
Self-proclaimed.
Yeah. No, not self. She is.
Okay.
She is.
Absolutely.
So she underperformed at the Olympics and withdrew from her team and personal all round. And she was stating just situations of mental health. What's your thoughts on this?
So Chantelle, you go first, my dear.
So as you know, I've been posting a lot about this because mental health, like I work in healthcare and I see the types of people that come into the ER. I see types of people that are just on the property who escape from like inpatient wards and things like that. And mental health ranges between something as simple as, just mild depression to bipolar, schizophrenic, all those things. Regardless of the degree of mental health issues that you have, self-care is paramount. And I actually applaud her for taking the step back. There have been so many other Olympians, sports players who have pushed themselves too far because they're in sports that require a lot of mental fortitude. And if you are not certain, you can have the worst injury possible, basically career changing, career ending injuries. So you have to make sure that you are at the top of your game. And the fact that she was already underperforming tells me that she knew something was up. And so I think that it is not even just brave of her, but smart of her to do that, because now she can take the proper rest that she needs and come back stronger. And that's what you want. You want an athlete that can perform. She's under so much pressure. There's so many things going on between the sexual assaults and all of these different things. COVID. We've got to remember that
racism.
We weren't the only ones that went through COVID. Athletes did too.
Right. So let me ask you this, Chantelle. Okay, if Simone Biles did not underperform, say she was like perfect tens and doing what she's hoped and expected to do, then I don't think that we would be speaking on her mental health issues. I think she'd be in a happier place. So I'm wondering if the fact that she's having this bout of mental health after she's already underperformed, it would seem that her mental health issue she's having is a result of her not like underperforming. And if you have underperformed, like goats underperform, right? But I mean, I do think you should own it. I'm not trying to say she's using her losing as an excuse, but I think if you're going to only make your case of why you don't want to perform on like your mental mind state, I think you should also kind of own the situation of you not getting the job done. Nelly J?
So I'm gonna answer that for you because the pressure isn't just her performance. Simone Biles had routines that were harder than the men's. She's doing things for him that no one has done that's human on earth. Do you understand?
I understand, Nelly J.
Hold on.
No, hold on.
I'm gonna finish. Let me finish my statement first, okay?
She chose to do it. Go ahead.
hold up.
Go ahead.
Bro,
Go
it's not
ahead.
about
Go
that.
ahead.
The problem is that the Olympic Committee, they said that we're not,
Okay.
they said that we're not going to give you the additional points that you should be getting because it's not fair.
What's not fair? I'm sure.
No,
Not sure.
the judges told her that
Mhm.
it's not fair you're doing all these hard things, so we're not going to give you the extra points for that.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
wait. So again, is that if Simone was a white woman,
finish. Go ahead.
right? If she was a white woman, would they react that way? Feel me? Because at the end of the day, someone is doing stuff that no one has done on earth. And for her to not get the points that she should be getting because of her difficulty, and them saying it's not fair, you're too good, so we're not going to give you the points for that. That to me is crazy. On top of that, the pressure, on top of that, she did kill it at the USA qualifying. She murdered it. So don't say so saying that she didn't do well for what? No, guys, if you know Simone Biles, and again, people that don't watch her I think is inaccurate because she has been doing well for over 7-8 years now. And keep in mind, the Olympics is 1 year late. So she prepared for last year. That 1 year late, she was saying is that it changed her prep, right? Remember, you prep leading up your body to the Olympics. It gets canceled, so you got to prep again, so you got to stop, prep again, and get back into that regime of your body for it again under what, like a year? People understand that this delay has really affected a lot of athletes, not just Simone. On top of that, Michael Phelps even said that he was depressed a lot during the Olympics, and he actually said, I wish I was brave enough like Simone to come out, and he was winning. He's been winning. So at the end of the day, it's not about her performance. I think a lot of people, I've dealt with depression before, anxiety as well, and if you don't understand those things, is the result. So like, yes, you might see your numbers go down, but if your mental health is not there, that's the result of your performance. Right? So it's not the other way around. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say because she didn't do well, no. You know what I mean? That's why. No, mental health can cause that. Okay. You know what I mean? And we can't we can't tell her that, oh, because you're not doing well is why you quit. No, I don't think that's the case. I think she really is having a problem.
All right. So let me unpack these two things. First, you're mentioning about Olympic qualifying. That's great. But in all sports, there's like the regular season and there's the playoffs, right? U.S. qualifying, that's the regular season. The playoffs is the Olympics. And in the playoffs, such as the Olympics, she underperformed. Okay. Now, you're also mentioning about she's doing like tougher things that no one else can do. I don't know enough about gymnastics. I believe you, right? But she's not, because she's Black, she's not made to do that. I think I
didn't say that. I was saying that.
I know you didn't say that. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but for them, first of all, the rule isn't what they did. They changed the rule because they're like, you're doing two hard things, exactly. And we're not going to award you for that. For him, it's like saying, hold up. It's like saying, hey, for example, in basketball, it's like saying, Dame, if you shoot from the half court, it's not fair because no one's doing that. So if you do it, it's 2 points. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why should they be penalized for excelling, right? You know what I mean? It's like it doesn't make sense to penalize someone that's doing an amazing thing and making it difficult. There's no logic behind that. So what I'm trying to say is that for us to sit here and think that she's only doing it because she didn't perform, that to me is us judging. I don't know why she did it. All we know is that she said, from her mouth, she said, the pressure that I'm going through at this time is too much and I can't continue this. That's what she said.
I understand, but hold on. The pressure.
Yeah, the pressure. The pressure.
No, hold on. But the pressure she has came out after she underperformed. Meaning she did her routine.
You don't know that, Faheem. You don't know that.
No,
you're assuming. You're assuming that, bro.
Hold on. I've never heard Simone Biles and mental health before she failed at the Olympics. Has anyone else heard that?
I have, because she was sexually assaulted by her doctor. Yes, Faheem. This is not, again, if you don't follow Simone, you're shocked. I'm not shocked. When I saw this, guys, I didn't even blink. I did not blink because if you know her story, her being assaulted by her doctor for years, come on now. And then like again, also Simone has been harassed by many people that aren't black. Like she's been going through a lot. So for me, as a fan, I follow her closely. I was not shocked. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, Simone, that you're going through this. I hope you get the help. And guess what? You've won the Olympic golds. You are the GOAT. Like, what else is to prove, right? Take care of your mental health and relax. But my thing is that a lot of people that are casual fans that don't watch gymnastics are judging her. And I don't like that. Like, to me, do your research and then comment. Because for me, if you know Simone's story, like this happening, you would not be surprised. I was not surprised by this.
I'll hold that. I don't follow gymnastics at all. Okay. I'm just simply speaking on just of she's the GOAT and she did not have a GOAT-like performance. And then I'm hearing about mental health. So I'm just unpacking what I'm hearing.
Yeah,
you
that's the media.
A lot more than me.
That's the media. No, for sure.
That's fine. I do want to say though, because it may come off like I'm being negative. I'm just stating what I'm hearing. What I do want to make sure. What I do want to make sure is I do hope that she gets the help, and I don't doubt she will get the help she needs. And I'm going to ask you, roughly how old is she? Ballpark.
I'm trying to remember her age.
So here's my question, I guess.
I think
does she have another Olympics in her? Does she have another Olympics in her, you think?
Of course. You'll do the girl in there.
I'm hoping between now and the next Olympics, she gets what she needs so she can perform at the level that she's been known to do in the next.
Yeah, so Simone was born in 97. Olympics. What's funny is that there's another Olympian. What's her name? There's another Olympian. It's her 6th Olympics. And she's like in her, 50s or 40s? And my girl is still doing it up. Yeah. Listen, gymnasts have a longevity. Honestly, it's just injury. Like, I think Dominique Dawes had 4 Olympics or 3? Like, she was doing Olympics in her late 20s, 30s. So she has time. It's not the end for her. I'm really happy for the winner, the first Asian descent to win the all-round event, and she's also American. So to me, it's just poetic. Like Simone, didn't perform, but a USA person did win, and she's from Asian, a person of color. So it's just great to see that there's other people that can take over. If Simone ain't there, it's okay because we got another beautiful Asian girl winning it all. So it's all good. You know what I mean? You can't. It's poetic. It's poetic for me. You know what I'm saying? So,
Chantelle, anything else?
I just want to congratulate you guys. Episode 50.
Ooh.
You guys have been doing an amazing job. I listen to your podcast while I'm at work. And I just other people have walked by and they're like, what are you listening to? And I try to plug you guys, to them and stuff. But I really appreciate what you guys have done for the culture. I appreciate that you guys have brought fresh news each week. Some stuff that I didn't even know. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to get all the news once I listen to the podcast. and the other guests that you've had on have been amazing too. So I just want to shout you guys out. Woot, woot.
Thank you.
Episode 50.
Nice.
Keep doing it for the culture.
We appreciate you. Thank you.
Chantelle.
Love you guys.
We love you, girl. 50.
That's right.
Hi, everybody. I'm Giancarlo Lino as a guest on episode 28 of the Good Rookies podcast. I just want to congratulate Nelly and Faheem on this milestone here. 50 episodes and 50 straight weeks. Congratulations to you both, and I'm looking forward to see what you have next. Take care.
All right. So let's throw this into our pod brother.
Ooh.
We are very much from the same cut, from the same cloth, same podcast family. He's from the Big O podcast. If you haven't taken him in, I do recommend you do. We got Julian Ortiz on the podcast today with us.
Julian.
That's right.
I got the stamp of approval, which means, I must be doing something right because, 50 episodes is not something to laugh at. Most podcasts don't get to that stage. So congratulations, Nelly J, Faheem, and the man behind the curtain, Jomo, for putting together such an amazing product and listening and viewing experience for all of us who take it in. I am a fan before I am a guest. So thank you very much for having me. It is a pleasure to be here, and let's kick it off.
Nice. Great having you here. So in having you, I specifically said, you know what, I want to get a topic in the wheelhouse of someone who can actually add some value to our discussion. And that's why we called you up. Cleveland Indians actually the team formerly known as the Cleveland Indians, going forward next year will be called the Cleveland Guardians. Your thoughts?
Oh, lots of thoughts. Number one, I understand the name, and I guess it's better than some of the other names that Cleveland has had in the past. And if you do a little bit of research into the Cleveland baseball team, which I know Nelly J is going to love that team name right there. They've had some interesting names for interesting reasons. I thought out of the gate, one of the first names that came to mind with Cleveland Spiders, which is a throwback to what they were once when they had Ty Cobb at the height of their success. It was an easy name to go back to. They chose Guardians based on the statues that surround their current stadium. They are the Guardians of Ohio. It makes a lot of sense on paper. However, my biggest beef with the Cleveland baseball team is that you've changed your name from what is widely regarded as one of the most racial team names in all of sports across the globe, and which means you can't really mess this up when you come up with a new team. However, in choosing the Cleveland Guardians, the creator of those statues actually doesn't have one of the greatest records when it comes to Native Americans in America, and therefore it makes me question, did you rush to choose a team name, or did you not have someone like an intern do a little bit more better research and understanding that it's probably going to be looked at under a fine-tooth comb when you make that team name switch? But it's just Cleveland being Cleveland, whether it's the Browns, whether it's the Cavs, whether it's now the Cleveland Guardians, it's going to be looked at under a microscope. And I don't know if it's obviously not as bad as Indians, but Cleveland Guardians, that's cool. Maybe they'll make a Disney movie about you guys one day.
Yeah. This just shows me that sport teams have really bad marketing teams. That's what I realized. No, like terrible marketing teams. I like the Kraken name. That's good. That name is interesting. It's dangerous. It's edgy, right? The Knights, the Vegas Knights. Okay, cool. I can do the Knights. The Guardians, Washington football team. Like, what's happening? Like, people should get fired. Absolutely get fired. The name is not good. It's a terrible name. However, I'm happy that it's not the Indians, because that name has been racist. It's been ignorant. And it's just like, what? Now you know it's bad? Took you how many? It just, anyways, I'm just happy that the name has changed, but it's just terrible marketing. Terrible. What's your logo?
So, Julian,
what's your
I didn't
logo?
know.
Like, I don't. What's the logo? Because Guardians could be anything.
I've seen a logo. It had a baseball with two G's on both sides of the baseball and like a streak coming out the back.
Terrible. Yo, my 7-year-old nephew can do a better job than that. Sorry for him. Go ahead.
No, okay. So I didn't know this. What you mentioned, Julian, in regards to the history behind the Guardians, and you're right, especially the climate we're in right now. Like we heard, even with Ryerson and
Dundas Square, even Dundas
Square. That like we are in a very cancel culture, very sensitive climate. For them, I didn't research this. You researched this, so if you research this, I'm pretty sure it's not hard to find. You know what I'm saying? This could come back and bite them, possibly. My thing in regards to the name change, though, is people don't like it. I happen to like it. I'm cool. I'm cool with the name. I'm cool with Guardians, just because I do remember the Pelicans when the New Orleans changed from the Hornets to Pelicans. A lot of people, university, were clowning. Oh, how can you have a pelican, that bird? There's nothing, like it was not received well publicly, and now when we say the Pelicans, it's grown on us. I feel the same thing with the Thunder. I hated the name the Thunder. I thought it was a ridiculous name for Oklahoma City.
I don't mind the name Thunder, but Faheem,
okay.
like the Guardians reminds me of like the Marvel movie Guardians of the Galaxy. I think as a Marvel fan that just like the Guardians name. I'm telling you, just call them the Avengers. Like too many these cartoon names for these teams. I'm not a fan. Right. But sorry, go ahead, Faheem. My bad.
No.
So if I could just jump into Nelly J's point, which is I was going to put in sort of like a rebuttal, but it's interesting you say that, because currently the Cleveland Guardians don't own the trademark for their team name. So this could spark some challenges going into next year, because there is actually a roller derby team in Cleveland that is known as the Cleveland Guardians. Now, before we even got to this
Fire them. Fire marketing team.
the Cleveland team had to actually reach out to Marvel over the property, because the @Guardians is owned by Marvel for Guardians of the Galaxy. There are a few things that, when it comes to, you know, their Instagram handles or Twitter handles, that are going to be complicated because they don't have the trademarks for it. And in 2021, like, that should be the first thing that you start securing before you end up on a name. And to the logo's point, that logo has been used for multiple minor affiliates before. It is not a new logo. It is not something created for Cleveland. It is something that they basically borrowed and was like, well, this is going to fit our narrative. It seems lazy. It seems rushed. It just seems very Cleveland. That's all.
You know what? This, again, like I said, my topic sentence was fire marketing team. Legit. Like, how can you pick a name and not look up trademarks? Not Google search. Like, come on. This is like, no. It must be a child. There's no way a grown marketing executive picked this name. This is embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing.
Last word on the way, Julian.
You know, this is, again, when we talk about some teams and the laziness, you know, Cleveland came up with the Cleveland Spiders because their players were tall and had lanky legs and arms and limbs. So again, when you have that sort of history as to why you're choosing your sports names, Cleveland Guardians isn't something that is really going to be like, oh, well, you know, we rushed that too because we've rushed our entire history as a team. They got it wrong yet again. And for once, I think you could ever say the Washington football team doesn't seem so bad in comparison. They're at least taking their time, but now the pressure is on them. They're on the clock. Come up with a better name. The last thing before I go out, again, 100%, 50 episodes, amazing. Nelly J, Faheem, the man behind the curtain, Jomo, you guys are doing a great job. Much future success. Continue on with the great conversations, topics. We all love it as fans. We love it as guests. Every Tuesday, check it out on wherever you get your podcast. And last thing, the LA sports franchise in any of the markets, we're coming home with at least 2 championships in 2021 or 2022, whether it's the Dodgers, Lakers, Sparks, Kings, and I'm probably missing another one that's super important.
Clippers.
Not the Clippers, though, they don't count.
Gonna say.
They're not an LA team, but look out, LA sports, doing big things. Thank you for having me, Nelly J and Faheem. Blessed. Continue the great success.
Nice.
Julian, we love you.
Julian
brother.
Stradamus.
Family. Julian Stradamus. Your fam. Your podcast fam. With the same podcast mother that birthed us all. Oh, man.
Hey, Faheem and Nelly J. Prem Williams here, Good Rookies Guest Episode 9, wishing you a very happy 50th.
All right, so we have Debo in the building.
Debo.
Thanks for having me.
Debo. I want to give a quick plug of his podcast, Two Jerks in the Pod. Second one, Ballers Block. The block
Beautiful. I don't have to do with it.
The block is hot.
Devo's a day one. The three of us, actually, we go back close to 10 years, would you say?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Close to 10 years.
It's been a minute.
It's been a
Going
minute.
back 10 years. That's a great segue into the topic.
Don't show our age, Faheem. Come on now. God damn.
Yeah. So we go back 10 years, and I think it's as Debo was saying, it's kind of fitting. Draft night's tonight, and Debo's done a little bit of research in regards to some players who have not been drafted in the top 10 lottery picks, and see how these guys are projected to see who's going to be maybe the next star. Like, for instance, Giannis. Giannis he was not a top 10 pick. He was
15.
Okay, so Giannis was 15, and here we are 8 years later, and he's one of the people that we could say could be he's got a ring, and
he put a ring on it.
His league in the future, right? So Debo, you did some research in regards to some players who might
first and foremost, this topic has come about because Faheem called his greatness from day one.
He
So
did.
talking about going back 10 years, Faheem came up to me at work and he was like, yo, there's this guy named Giannis. He's going to be the guy. I'm telling you right now, watch out for this guy named Giannis. He's going to be the guy. You got a little Magic Johnson in him. You got a little bit of this and that. Watch out for this guy named Giannis Antetokounmpo. Give him some time. He's going to be that dude. Lo and behold, he's that dude.
Yeah.
You got to give Faheem his flowers for that. He called it from day one.
Appreciate that. Yeah. Giannis saw him first time it would have been like maybe the first month of the league. And yeah, something about him caught my eyes. Like, yo, there's something about him. So I do remember.
He fell in love, y'all. He fell in love.
Yeah.
That's it.
I do remember because Debo
just like LaMelo Ball. The man loved them too, boy. Anyway, sorry, go on.
LaMelo Ball, starry eyes.
Yeah, they love boys. Certain players for him just love him off.
Yeah,
bro.
no, I see Giannis, and when I seen him, I was like, I remember because Debo we talk about all the time. I was like, yo, I could not pronounce his last name properly. Tell you the truth, you said Antetokounmpo. Yeah. That last year it was just, I think I might have called him the Greek kid. That's what I might have said to you. Though, watch out for this Greek kid, right? But and yeah, that was the start of the season. He went to he at rookie season at the All-Star break. He was in the skills competition, and that's when I was like, okay, like that's when he kind of was on people's radar of his ability. So it's nice to see going forward. So yeah, it's fitting that we're actually going to be talking about guys now who in the future we think could be that guy. I mean, the league's always had Magic and Bird, LeBron and KD, like there's always a pairing. Fair to say Giannis might be there. Who's there with Giannis? Debo, with the research you got, hit us.
All right. So me and Faheem were talking about this last night.
Yeah.
And we came up with a player, but to be fair, I think this player is already quite accomplished. And I think me and you came up with the same person. We didn't discuss who it was at the time.
We didn't say who it was, but it wasn't said, but it was understood.
The Joker. I'm pretty sure that's who you had in mind.
Right.
All right, there it is. So he's already well accomplished. So I think it's unfair to have him as one of those guys. So I did a little bit of digging around. I got 5 guys.
Nice. Okay.
I got 5 guys. First, Terrence Mann.
Whoa. I'll let you finish the list. Finish the list first before
Terrence
I comment.
Mann.
Yeah.
Now, given what he did in the playoffs this year, I think that's going to be a big confidence boost going into next season. So I expect him, maybe not to be on the level of a Giannis, but I expect him to be a decent player.
Okay.
Going forward. And he was a 48th pick. So to be a 48th pick and become a decent player, I see some bright things in his future.
Good call.
Another one, Gary Trent Jr., 37th pick.
Wow.
This past season, again, not necessarily Giannis level, but big things. And most of these guys that I have on the list might not get to Giannis level, but again, Giannis level, that's crazy coming from where he came. They might not get there, but I see big things in their future. Gary Trent Jr., the short time he spent on the Raptors, he had a big impact. So if he can carry that over to the next season, I think he can be a guy. Next up, Kerr Sliver. He already has a 50-point game in him, so you know that he can put the ball in the hoop. So given the chance to have a full healthy season in Indiana, I expect big things from him as well. This one is my real dark horse here. It's a guy that I've seen on a lot of the mixtape videos and Ball is Life stuff. And he's a little bit of a head case. But given the opportunity, just like Kerr Sliver, he has a 50-11 game in him. Kevin Porter Jr.
Oh, he got sent to the D League and came back up, right?
Yes.
Go ahead.
On Houston, he started to go off a little bit, had a 50.11 assist game. So given the opportunity to let his game flourish in the league, I expect big things from him as well. I didn't give up. Kerr Sliver was 20th pick in 2016. Kevin Porter 30th in 2019.
Okay, and then who's your last one? Mm-hmm.
John Collins, Atlanta. 19th pick 2017. 2017.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you're saying that these 5 players are going to do what? They're going to win a championship. They're going to be an all-star. Like, what are you saying about these players?
Well, again, they're not necessarily going to be a Giannis level player, but I think they're going to be really good players. I think John Collins will be an all-star in the not too distant future.
So I'm hoping all 5 of these guys listed, you see all-stars in their future.
Well, maybe not all of them, but I'll give you guys that I think could be all-stars. Kerr Sliver and John Collins, I think could be all-stars. Kevin Porter, dark horse.
Very dark horse.
Fair.
That's very dark horse.
Fair, Nelly J?
Yeah, so your list, I think I think there's players there that have done pretty decent thus far. They did get drafted later in the draft, but will they be all-stars, all of them? Probably not. I like Kerr Sliver. I like him. He's a good role player. I don't think he's an all-star, to be honest. I think for him to be an all-star, he would have to get he has to be a top 1 or 2 guy on his team, and he has to get the chance to ball out. And I don't know what team is going to give him that opportunity yet. Kerr Sliver to be pardon me? No, I'm saying Indiana, but what I'm saying though is that the last time they had a really good player was PG. Well, Sabonis is there, right? So that's Sabonis' team. You know what I mean? I just can't see Karis. The votes for that All-Star will go to Sabonis. It's not going to go to Kerr Sliver. You know what I mean? I just don't see Kerr Sliver being a top guy. Luckily for Canada, we got DeRozan and Kyle Lowry because we're Canadians and we have a lot of people who can vote. But I think being in the States, if Kerr skipped to Toronto, he has a chance. But him being in Indiana, being in the States, an American team, I can't see him being voted, especially now how competitive each division is. I can't see him making it to the All-Star yet, right? Westbrook is now gone to the West, hopefully, as we've seen today. But that spot won't go to him. It'll go to someone else. So hence why I'm just saying, those guys, I mean, hey, if it happens, we'll say, hey, Debo called it. For sure. But those guys, I will say they have done very well for where they got drafted. I just don't know if I see all-star in them today. Faheem, your thoughts on his list?
I'm just kind of going through mentally on some of these players. You're right. I'm not seeing I'm not seeing an all NBA team in any of those guys. I may be wrong. If I were to choose, I get the Kevin Porter Jr. as a dark horse. I do remember he kind of had a tag of being a head case.
That's why I said it. He is a head case. That's why he got the boot on Cleveland. Right,
he out of Cleveland, and then when he went to the D League, he was killing the D League, and then he got called up, and he maintained that level and playing in Houston. Right. I still don't know if I see an all-star in him. John Collins of making an all-star. Well, yeah, and maybe you might be right because he's playing with Trae Young, and if Atlanta can maintain being maybe 1, 2, 3 seed, who knows? Atlanta might get more than just Trae Young in the all-star, and him playing with. I think he would be their second best player in Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
So it's a possibility, John Collins, but for all those guys, I'm still not really seeing a lot.
Yeah, and guys, the East has Kyrie, Harden, and Kevin Durant. That's 3 all-star spots gone in the East.
Yeah. All right, and one last thing in regards to Terrence Mann broke out. He wasn't even on my radar. He's a name I'd seen.
I don't think he's on nobody's radar.
Right.
The only reason why I knew he existed was NBA 2K.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Let's see if he can maintain what he did. I'm not doubting against it, but I haven't seen. It's such a small sample, and he came from out of nowhere.
Yep.
Almost
he's
felt
the Tyler Hero of this year. Listen, Tyler Hero was big last playoff, and this playoff Silent Night, right?
Yeah, this playoff he came off. It felt very Linsanity like. You know, I never heard this guy, and then boom, he's doing Kawhi stuff. So anyway, we'll see. Debo, enough respect to you, my friend.
Debo,
always.
Thank you for
right back at you guys. I like to consider myself an OG friend of the pod.
Oh, most def. You're foundation.
The original.
Yeah, you're a triple OG, my friend. Don't worry about that.
So anytime I'm invited, it's always a pleasure. Love talking sports with you guys. appreciate it. And your milestone, 50th episode. I'm glad you guys invited me on. And I hope to see another 50. I'm sure it'll happen because you guys work your asses off to get it done. So I'm sure it will happen. And I'm looking forward to be on the 100th episode.
Ooh.
Nice. Well, hey, if Terrence
100th episode.
if Terrence Ross can drop 50, we should be good for another 50.
Yo, Faheem. Yo, Faheem had to bring up Terrence Ross.
Hello, Faheem.
Hey, listen. Corey Brewer dropped a 50 burger.
Oh my gosh, y'all! The Terrence Ross, they hate that Faheem after Terrence Ross, a different level, y'all.
Why does he hate Terrence Ross so much, guys?
All right.
It's Jomo, man. It's a thing. Thank you so much, Debo. We appreciate you. You are a family. You're not just a guest. You are a Good Rookies family.
That's right.
You're always supporting us on socials everywhere. Like real talk, mad respect, mad love. And yeah, we'll definitely do another one with you for sure. You already know the vibe. You know the things, so.
Yeah, you know the vibes. That's right.
Again, congratulations on the 50. Look forward to the 100, man. Look forward to the 100.
Nice.
All right, y'all. That's it.
Deuces.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Bobby Del Rio. Episode 49. I just want to shout out Good Rookies. You're about to drop episode 50. Much love and respect. You guys are dope.
Chris from episode 35. Good Rookies, congratulations on 50 episodes. And here's to the next 50. Faheem, Nelly, behind the scenes Jomo. You guys are doing outstanding work for the sports scene in Toronto and the culture. Congratulations and all the best.
All right, so let's go to For the Culture.
For the culture, we like to highlight individuals that are for the culture. And today, we get to highlight Mr. Brooklyn Nets.
Well, actually, hold on a second. In football, what's it called when you go to the line of scrimmage and you change the play? What's it called? It starts with an
Audible.
Audible. I think we have an audible coming up right now.
An audible? What do you mean an audible?
We have an audible stepping in. Jomo.
Omaha.
Let's run Omaha. All right.
All
right. We're
righty.
gonna hijack this For the Culture right now.
Yes. Remix.
How are we highlighting? What?
Our For the Culture highlight.
Yes.
Is Nelly J.
We're not gonna go with Kyrie. We're gonna talk about Janelle.
What?
Nelly J. That's right.
What she does.
What is going on? Y'all, I'm shocked right now, y'all.
Did this in advance, so this is how we're gonna do this, right? I have to make sure I had good internet. You know, you see the house and everything's fine over at Alvin and Ting. You know, so we have to make sure we did this proper, right? Now, this is what you guys don't know. Like, yes, I'm the tech guy. Like, yes, I'm behind the scenes. Like, yes, I do the editing and stuff. But majority, up until very, very recently and very, very long ago, Janelle handles, right? Making sure that this thing happens every week. You know, it might have started as a brainhead amongst a whole bunch of people, but making sure it happens every week, that's Janelle.
Plug.
You know, making sure that all your social media has the latest gossip, has the latest sports talk, has the latest culture, that's Janelle. So we wanted to make sure that for the 50th episode,
that's right.
We really tried our hardest to keep this thing organized, but truly, it's Janelle.
That's right.
Nelly J.
Wow.
I want to ask you, you know, you're here 50 weeks, and this is just the 50 weeks of this iteration, right? Faheem, you have to work with him. I already know he's a close friend of mine. I'm sorry for that. It is what it is. But can you tell us or our listeners briefly some of the other things that you do, just briefly, outside of Good Rookies, please?
Oh, wow. I do a lot, y'all. I'm like, okay, where do I start? So I work, of course, in technology. So I do sales and I help design and strategize ways to increase revenue. That's my day, 9 to 5. After hours, Good Rookies. After that, I'm heavy on Clubhouse, making a lot of connections and networking for our podcast. So I meet a lot of people in media and sports. I've met a few athletes, just trying to really not only help us out on Good Rookies, but get our name out there, right? And really meet people that could help us out. I do a side, so I am helping now films with their social media marketing. That's my latest project where I am helping them try to get more organic reach and help them increase revenue with social media strategies. So TikTok, IG, Facebook, and my latest. So I did one a few weeks ago. Going further, really cool film. My latest one is the Prince documentary, which is coming out very soon, and that's Prince. Yes, the Prince. Yes, guys, Purple Rain, all that. And it's the documentary for him about more of how he grew up and how he became who he became. So it's interviews of amazing stars, celebrities, people he grew up with from his hometown, and I get to run the social media marketing campaign and email marketing for that. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. Oh, I'm involved in my church. I do, I'm a choir assistant director. So, well, with COVID, we don't get to really perform. But yeah, I kind of do a lot of different things. So yeah.
I think it would be a disservice to say like you're the hardest working woman in the podcast lane. I'm gonna go with like you're the hardest person, period, working in the podcast lane for what you do for the podcast, just to make sure that we can stay afloat and keep it as we're 50 episodes deep, and the stats will say that 40% of all podcasts do not make it past the 7th episode.
Wow.
So that in mind, we're at 50. So you've been doing this consistently every week. I'm talking socials. I'm talking posting. I'm talking editing. I'm talking like there's things that, I think it's a great opportunity for me to really thank you for what you do, because we are a team. And, you've helped me out in ways that I have things going on also with my life, and you picked up some of my slack and said, hey, you know what? Like, I got you, bro. And just so I really appreciate everything that you've done for the podcast. And offline, just even in regards to what you have going, the connection on Clubhouse, you're killing it on Clubhouse. This may be our 50th episode, but you got a bright future. And I think people need to know even your consciousness in regards to the For the Culture segment. That's something that's like your baby of our podcast. And just the commitment you do to even thinking about, who's for the culture and how can we highlight them. And you just do an amazing job. So this For the Culture is all about you.
Wow.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Janelle.
guys. Honestly, I will say without y'all, I wouldn't be me. And I think because we are like fam, I work hard because I know how much it matters. And, everyone goes through, like Faheem, we got a baby girl, like she's my niece, so that's a huge thing. And I don't want to take away from that. That's why, I try to do my all, but it's all for y'all. Like real talk, I do it for all of us. I put others before myself all the time, which is a good thing and a bad thing. But, I'm just happy that like the team that I'm with, which is you two, are like amazing men and amazing husbands and amazing like fathers, amazing uncles. Like you guys are role models for young men out there. So I'm just happy to have partners like y'all. Like we've heard some horror stories of people on podcasts and who they work with, and luckily we don't have that. So I'm just very blessed that I get to work with you two. And this is our passion project, and who knows what will happen in the future. But I'm just honored that we kind of talked about this vision of a podcast. And I remember us meeting up on a Sunday, just brainstorming. And yeah, I'm just so happy that we made 50, y'all. Like real talk, like this is all of our win, all of us. But I'm very honored to be For the Culture. I'm just Janelle, like I'm just Nelly, but thank you.
Roses.
Guys, y'all, they surprised me, guys. They surprised me, y'all. I did not expect it. I had my notes for Kyrie, and y'all were like, Audible. I'm like, what? I'm talking about Audible.
and one last thing that I think that the viewers should know is, I'm pretty sure you don't mind me saying that when there's a previous podcast we had, I was with someone else doing a podcast, and I was thinking, like Janelle she came to mind in regards to what she can bring to the table. And I remember Nelly J was not, I wouldn't say apprehensive, but just kind of like me, like, I don't know if I could do this. And you
I
remember?
was, yes. I was like, well, are you sure you want me? Like, I'm kind of like outspoken and kind of crazy sometimes, but you said, yeah.
Right, right. But I saw the potential in her, and this is, I think, I'm really happy to know that I saw the potential in you, and to see what you've made of the opportunity and what you're making of future opportunities. Your future's bright, and I love to see it.
Thank you. And thank you for even thinking of a woman, because, you know, most of the sport podcasts, they never think about women, you know, to be partnered with, you know, and you were like, I want to work with a woman, a woman of color, you know, a Black woman. And you did that. And that's something that, you know, a lot of Black women, we don't get the opportunity to do. So I do appreciate you, you know, thinking of me, because I was very surprised. I'm like, you want me? Sure. Okay.
It's you or bust. If it wasn't you, then I don't know what would be.
Yeah,
you know.
Oh, I love you guys. You're my family. Oh, you're the best.
But again, I just want to take this opportunity to thank you, you know, for everything you do for us, everything you do for our listeners, everything you do for empowering other women, everything you do for empowering Black men. Talking about our stories, highlighting us, you know, letting us know when we're not doing the greatest and we can do better.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And being that person, because it's always genuine, it's always from the heart. And the best thing about it is our listeners get to benefit from that. And thank you for being here for us.
Right.
Thanks, guys.
All right. So I guess I'm going to close out this.
Now, wasn't that absurd?
Oh, I'm so guys, I'm like
All right,
shocked.
y'all. Peace out.
All right.
Thank you again.
That was for the culture.
Yeah, you could close out before the culture segment.
Y'all, that was for the culture.
On yourself.
I was highlighted. Oh my God. I do everything for my people. Honestly, I don't even think about it. I just work. Like, I don't even think about the work, but I just work because I just want to empower people, help people, promote people, you know, because I think really we all can win. Like, there's no one, the cake is big enough for all of us. I truly believe that. So thanks, guys. And now it's for the culture.
That's right.
Good rookies, 50 straight, hitting that Giannis closeout vibes. Sherrard Ward, episode 3, nothing but love for good rookies. Nelly J and Faheem.
Hey y'all, what's up? My name is Benaj Igwe. I was a guest on episode 3. Just want to say congrats on reaching your 50th episode. That is big. Keep pushing and striving for greatness, y'all. Love.
Just want to congratulate the Good Rookies team. Shout out Nelly J. That's my sister right there. On your 50th episode, 50. You know what I always say, people get rewarded in public for what they've done in private for years. You guys have been grinding. Really proud of you. Keep up the good work. Go Good Rookies.
So let's go to our last topic, which is That's Absurd.
That's absurd. Faheem, bro. What was absurd this week? What was absurd?
So first off the top, I want to thank Andrew Miller for coming on the podcast today. So the absurd topic today is one of the retailers for Walmart has to lock up the LeBron James Space Jam action figures due to the fact that people keep popping off their heads and taking it to platforms and trying to sell them, just mind you, just the bobblehead itself, just the head itself, and selling it for obscene amounts. One is going for almost $15,000. They're putting bids on. $5,000 just for the LeBron James Space Jam head. Absurd.
Well, you know, Faheem, the King's Crown is quite costly, and Space Jam being the #1 movie in the world, I'm not sure if it is right now, but still a very popular movie. Some people would be happy to get a piece of the king, so to speak.
Right.
And come on, let's be honest here, guys. You guys are acting like you didn't cause any mischief at your local neighborhood mall. You know, you've never stolen a tag off a sneaker or, you know, maybe even taken an extra gummy bear out of the bulk barn. But this is just kids having fun, no?
Well, they're having fun and they're making a lot of money, Andrew. What was that? 5,000 for him? 10,000?
Yeah.
That's a lot. Like at the end of the day, it's absurd for sure. This is definitely a good absurd topic for our 50th anniversary. And it just shows you that, COVID was real. We're in a pandemic. It hasn't come out yet. And if people got to steal heads from Walmart to pay their rent, I ain't going to hit on it. I'm not going to, because we've been absurd for the last year. How about that?
I looked into Michael Jordan's Space Jam plush doll. We're talking in the package, untouched. Michael Jordan's Space Jam Toon Squad, $37. So that's quite an inflated number, going from $40 for Michael Jordan to $14,000 for just the head of LeBron James.
Yeah, it's absurd, y'all. Absurd. That's all I gotta say. And I'm sure LeBron fans are gonna be like, yeah, you see, LeBron bobbleheads got popped off, but Jordan's didn't. You know what I'm saying? Because these LeBron sexuals love to compare anything that LeBron does to Michael Jordan. It's crazy, y'all. It's real crazy.
Something. Can I talk about you guys celebrating 50 episodes? Is now the perfect time to interject with that? Good Rookies, congratulations on the 50th episode. Perfect time to get a drink and toast to you guys on your 50th. A lot of people never made it to 50 episodes. This is a perfect time to celebrate your success. Cheers to more success, more blessings, more episodes, more guests, to your own television show or whatever the future may hold. Cheers to you guys, to the Good Rookies.
Thank you, Andrew. Hey, we appreciate you, brother. Honestly, you're like a day one, like legit from day one. Always been supportive, socials, like everywhere, brother. So, we got your back. We're a family here. So thank you for the special shout out.
Hey guys, the community. That's all I'm about. Real community stuff. We all got to support each other. We got to support other people doing great things. If you see someone doing something great, get behind them. Don't talk about them. Don't hate. Help them out. Like a post. It ain't costing nothing, guys. Give them away. Just saying.
And guys, from what I noticed, every subscription is free. So it's not going to hurt nobody.
That's right. Let me just ask this on the way out. Has anyone here seen the new Space Jam at all?
I haven't seen it yet, but I will. I will be seeing it.
Right. Nelly J, how about you?
No, I haven't seen it yet. Will I see it? If I do, I probably won't pay for it. I'm not gonna say how. I'm not gonna say why. I'm just saying, but for real, y'all, I'm not going to the theater anytime soon. So I'm sorry. To me, COVID is still real. Vaccine or no vaccine, COVID is still real. Okay, that's just my thing.
I haven't seen it. I figure I'm just gonna watch. I'm gonna have a night where I watch the original with MJ, and then watch the LeBron updated version after. I don't want to compare the two, but I like to do things like that. I think of when Creed came out. When Creed 2 came out, I went to watch Creed 1 just to get a refresher, and then did Creed 2 after.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That totally makes sense. I think a lot of us have done similar things. So, but no, y'all, well, honestly, that's absurd. Stop taking the man them head, okay? Buy the whole thing. And if you can't, then, hey, survival mode, I guess. I ain't gonna judge nobody.
What's up, guys? Daniel here. Shout out to the Good Rookies podcast. Congrats on all the success you guys had. I was on season 2 premiere, and it was a pleasure. So wishing you guys the best. Love from my end.
Kevin Francis, DiversifiedYou.com, episode 46 in the mix. Good Rookies, good looking. Large up, bless up, big up, turn up, way up.
What's up, Good Rookies? Shout out on your 50th episode. This is Chris from NBA on CH and Hoop Spaces on Twitter, episode 48. Here's the 50 more, guys. Good job.
Hi, this is Dudley Campbell from episode 37 of Good Rookies with Faheem and Nelly J. Not absurd, episode 50. Nothing but blessings in your future, guys.
Yes, 50 episodes, going for 50 like Giannis. Big up the Good Rookies podcast. It's got to be the Great Rookies podcast. I'm Donovan Bennett. I was on 32, and hopefully I'll be on some more. Congrats.